you believe you can make a difference?
The people in this room are so powerful that this year we took on Congress and demanded that they pass healthcare reform.
We have a saying in Spanish, de que el que no habla Dios no lo oye.
The different sizes and shapes, colors, and appreciate each other for your uniqueness and celebrate that we are here today united as one human race.
Be powerful beyond measure.
It's my honor to introduce our keynote speaker for today, Assemblywoman Fiona Ma, who represents the citizens of California's 12th Assembly District and serves as the California Assembly Speaker Pro Tem.
For me personally, in-home support services is such a critical service that we provide. On the Board of Supervisors, I proposed a raise for in-home support service workers, and for many of you who are working for paid sick days with me, you know that 5 to 6 million workers cannot take a day off if they are sick. The Assembly Democrats and the Senate Democrats have come up with our balanced budget, $17.9 billion, that we are going to be able still to fully fund education. We will continue to fund CalWorks, Healthy Families, in-home support services, Medi-Cal, and child care programs.
I'd like to first bring up 5 of our community leaders who will actually be the stars of the show in the sense of asking questions. Araceli Preciado, Gina Jackson, Naira Pacheco, Maria Delgado, and David Cho. If you could please come up and let's give them a big round of applause. What makes this different is that it's real people asking real questions about real issues they care about. So what's very important is that we'll start each of these sessions with our leaders asking a question, and I'll explain how that works. Again, we are not neutral. We care deeply about the issues that have brought you here today, but we are not partisan. She will turn to our community leaders who will step up and ask a few questions. The first question is going to be coming from Araceli Preciado, who is from CAUSE. Can we give her a round of applause?
How my grandfather would take care of himself if he didn't have this service.
My name is Gina Jackson. I'm from Fremont, California, and I'm with Parent Voices.
While I always had high aspirations to pursue a path towards higher education, I think high school was a time full of struggle and uncertainty for me. And I can say the same for most of my Latino and low-income students in my community.
My school has suffered from budget cuts, and because of that, my 10th grade English teacher, Mr. Inouye, was laid off among with many other teachers. Mr. Inouye was an awesome teacher from whom I learned a lot. Right now, because of budget cuts, we do not count with enough teachers for all the kids in my school. My classes are overcrowded that it's difficult for us to learn.
It's well known and well documented that early childhood education benefits children and helps close the equity gap by helping children be ready for school. Currently, the state budget covers K through 12 students, but it fails to allocate much needed subsidies to public pre-kindergarten schools. Ms. Sarah, earlier you mentioned that there's this urgency to really fix our education system. Now, how will you provide access to early childhood education for all kids in California? Thank you.
The need for preschool is so critical. We know it now more than ever. And so the idea that somehow cuts to preschool are okay, they're not really in school yet, is a disaster. The cost of keeping someone in prison runs over $50,000 a year. The cost of educating children, especially preschool children, runs under $8,000 to $9,000 a year. How do we pay for it? We have to do a combination of figuring out where our priorities are. We have to raise enough revenue from sources that are out there, and there are out there, the oil severance tax, for example.
I'm very happy to join you. Sorry I can't be there in person, previous commitment in another part of California, but very happy to focus on a key issue, which is your first question. How do we adequately fund the schools of California? Californians are supportive of additional taxes for schools. They want to vote on them and they want to know what the taxes are. All the studies show that we should be adding billions of dollars, not subtracting. The schools of California have lost 1/3 of their funding in the last 3 budgets. This is wrong, this is the wrong direction, the wrong mathematics. The Stanford Get Down to Facts study said we should be adding 15 billion, not subtracting 17 billion. So I am going to lead us to that place where we can give the voters an opportunity to vote, just like they do on transportation measures, for more revenues to improve things that are of high priority.
Many thanks to Assemblyman Torlingson for taking the time to do this. This is from one of the candidates for state controller, the current state controller, John Chang.
I'm happy to be with you, to spend a few moments with you on this very important gathering. The fiscal crisis today in California is totally avoidable if we have the governor and legislature come together and put together a sound budget. Unfortunately, as you are well aware, and all Californians are well aware, even though there are a handful of legislators standing up trying to move a budget forward, we have too many legislators sitting on their hands. And in fact, we have legislators who have left this state. Your question you need to ask of your legislators along the Central Coast is, what are you doing to resolve the budgetary issues?
Thank the controller for taking the time to do this. I want to point out that the Republican candidate for this position, Assemblyman Tony Strickland, was invited to come or have us tape his answer, but he declined.
Brothers and sisters, we have to do this because we know that the leadership for the change we need is not going to come from the next governor. It is going to come from us. It will come. It will come because we will register voters. We will serve as precinct leaders. And we will work to make sure that on November 2nd, every single Latino and other voters will go to the polls. They will vote for a positive social agenda. Can we do it? Can we do it?